The biggest feud set for SmackDown after SummerSlam, the WWE's plans for Seth Rollins after SummerSlam, congratulations to Nia Jax, condolences to Angelo Dawkins, a very unfortunate update on Jacob Fatu's injury status, Finn Balor finally breaks silence after betraying Damien Priest, a Raw superstar is money despite losing, Roman Reigns is set to suffer a major betrayal from his closest ally, Roman Reigns' major changes upon his return, and more. Let's dive right in. The WWE's plans for Seth Rollins after SummerSlam. Seth Rollins served as the special guest referee for Drew McIntyre and CM Punk's encounter at WWE SummerSlam 2024. However, the current storyline may or may not continue after the controversial finish. During the closing moments of the match, CM Punk got infuriated at Seth Rollins for wearing his bracelet. After being advised to concentrate on the ongoing battle, Punk hit the referee with a GTS, taking him out for a considerable period. Drew McIntyre capitalized with a low blow followed by a Claymore kick to pick up the victory at WWE SummerSlam 2024. Judging by the finish, let's take a look at 5 possible directions for the Visionary following the biggest party of the summer. Number 1. Seth could target CM Punk on WWE Raw. It is no secret that Seth Rollins has hated CM Punk for a long time and has not been able to have a one-on-one match with the latter. A tease of their potential rivalry was already given at WWE SummerSlam 2024. After enraging the best in the world and receiving a devastating GTS, Seth did not hesitate to count to 3 when Drew McIntyre covered his opponent. This was a clear indication of mutual hate between the two stars in question. While McIntyre secured the victory, Punk may blame Rollins for his loss, resulting in a rivalry. Number 2. Go after Drew McIntyre. Another backlash from the match could be a huge change in Drew McIntyre's on-screen attitude. While he has always complained about not being able to put CM Punk to sleep, that objective has been achieved. The Scottish Warrior may not give much deserved credit to Rollins, leading to a greater conflict between the two. He could also try to win the World Heavyweight Championship back, and Seth may not want anyone else to get an opportunity before himself. It will also be interesting to see the Second City Saint play the role of an instigator. Number 3. Challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins kept the promise he made to Damien Priest by not trying to challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship until Priest lost. Now that Gunther is the new champion, the Visionary may try to win back the title he lost to Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania XL. Judging by the ongoing storyline, Rollins may challenge for Gunther's coveted gold after WWE SummerSlam 2024, but there is a high chance that McIntyre or CM Punk will interfere to ensure the ring general picks up the victory. This scenario might add another layer of drama to the heated rivalry. Number 4. Challenge Braun Breaker. Out of the 5 title changes that happened at WWE SummerSlam 2024, Braun Breaker's victory over Sami Zayn was perhaps the most dominant one. The rivalry between the two appears to be settled, and the current Intercontinental Champion will look for new challengers. Seth Rollins could shift his focus to the Intercontinental Championship in case Damien Priest plans to chase the title he lost. He could also be the perfect challenge for Braun Breaker, who could really benefit from a victory over a veteran like Rollins. This path could also witness another Intercontinental Championship reign for the Visionary, so fans will be up for a treat. Number 5. Seth Rollins could reunite with Roman Reigns in the Bloodline saga. Considering how Jey Uso switched brands last year after leaving the Bloodline, Seth Rollins could complain to Raw General Manager Adam Pearce about the unnecessary assault he suffered at the hands of CM Punk at SummerSlam 2024. He may not want anything to do with both Drew McIntyre and Punk, thus shifting to WWE SmackDown. Considering Roman Reigns returned as a babyface, there's a high chance that Seth Rollins will join him. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens against Solo Sikoa's Bloodline. A potential reunion is what fans will always appreciate, especially when the original Tribal Chief and the Visionary go against the Bloodline. There are tons of possibilities, and the Fallout episode of Raw after WWE SummerSlam 2024 may hold answers. Congratulations to Nia Jax, the new WWE Women's Champion. Nia Jax has recently achieved a major feat in her professional wrestling career. The Irresistible Force was in action at the SummerSlam Premium Live event in Cleveland. Nia Jax has become one of the biggest heels in world wrestling entertainment since she returned to the Stamford-based promotion in 2023. The real-life Bloodline member has proven her haters wrong by elevating her in-ring abilities and earning a well-deserved shot at a major title at the biggest party of the summer. At the mentioned event, the Queen of the Ring locked horns with Bayley for the WWE WWE Women's Championship. Both stars showcased their incredible strength inside the squared circle. Although many fans thought that the bout would turn into a triple threat match after Tiffany Stratton came out with a referee to cash in her Money in the Bank briefcase, the role model took Stratton out before she could step foot inside the ring. However, Tiffany did enough to help her friend Nia Jax as the latter took advantage of the situation after Bayley got distracted. Jax ultimately pinned her opponent to become the new women's champion. Congratulations are in order, as the Irresistible Force became the first ever wrestler who was rehired by Triple H after he took control of the WWE creative to win a world title. The game has re-signed some big names in recent years, including Braun Strowman, the late Bray Wyatt, and more, but none of them achieved such a massive feat since being rehired. Nia Jax recently took to Instagram to break her silence after the win. She also shared some mesmerizing photos with a huge crown on her head. "Bask in my glory and new," she wrote. After Nia Jax's massive win against Bayley at the biggest party of the summer, Triple H took to X, formerly Twitter, to send a message. The game wrote that it was incredible to witness Jax's run before winning the Women's Championship at her first SummerSlam. There are a lot of reasons why this one hits differently. It's been incredible to witness Nia Jax's ascent into Queen of the Ring, and now, at her first SummerSlam ever, your new WWE Women's Champion. "Congratulations, Nia," he wrote. "It will be interesting to see what the Stamford-based promotion has planned for Nia Jax's future as the WWE Women's Champion." Condolences to Angelo Dawkins. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford have been pushing through the tag team division on SmackDown over the past few weeks, but neither man was featured on the card for this year's WWE SummerSlam. Following the show, Dawkins shared a heartbreaking update revealing that his grandma had passed away. Dawkins captioned the image with a message to his grandma, noting that she was now with his mother. "Rest easy, Grandma. Now you and Mom can kick it again. Love you," he wrote. Dawkins recently celebrated the news that he and his wife are set to welcome their second child, and the couple married back in June with Montez Ford acting as the priest. Dawkins is a very private man outside of the ring and doesn't often share personal updates about his family, but he was clearly close to his grandmother, and his heartbreaking update is a testament to that. WWE recently announced that Survivor Series 2024 would take place on November 30th, and it seems that this will be the final event of the year. There are still several months between now and then, which means that Dawkins has a chance to put himself into contention for the tag team championships in that time. At the moment, the Bloodline hold the championships, and given Jacob Fatu's apparent injury, it seems that Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa would be the right ones to defend the titles moving forward, and as faces the Street Profits could be seen as the next challengers for the titles. Bobby Lashley has been missing for several weeks, and with no update on his status, it's unclear what this means for the Street Profits and B-Fab, since they have remained a trio on WWE SmackDown. A very unfortunate update on Jacob Fatu's injury status. Jacob Fatu's injury status has been up in the air since the conclusion of WWE SummerSlam 2024. However, if we go by a recent picture making rounds on social media, things aren't looking good for the new enforcer of the Bloodline. The Samoan werewolf has been a force to be reckoned with ever since joining the global juggernaut. After capturing the WWE Tag Team Championship on SmackDown this past Friday, Jacob made his presence felt in the main event of SummerSlam as well, as he put Cody Rhodes through the announce table. However, the Bloodline star appeared to suffer an injury in the process, as he was seen holding his ankle after delivering a frog splash to Cody Rhodes through announce table. While fans had been hoping that Jacob Fatu's injury was just work, it appears that the star has seriously hurt his ankle, as he was recently seen in a walking boot which is worn for an ankle injury in a picture taken post-WWE SummerSlam. While there has been no official word on the extent of Jacob Fatu's injury, Triple H did provide an update during the SummerSlam post-show press conference, noting that the Bloodline star is a little banged up. Unfortunately, Jacob Fatu got a little bit banged up in that last match. The only two real, Logan's a little banged up, as he should be, and Jacob's a little banged up. I'll see where that nets out here in a little bit. Hopefully nothing serious, but it was bugging him a little bit, the leg, so we'll see where he is, Triple H said. The Samoan werewolf joined the Bloodline upon making his debut for the Stamford-based promotion in June 2024. He has been presented as an unstoppable force so far, and has decimated everyone who has come in way. However, the company may be forced to strip Jacob and Tama of the tag titles if the former injury forces him to stay out of action for long. There is also a possibility of Tonga Loa stepping in to defend the gold in Fatu's absence. Finn Balor finally breaks silence after betraying Damien Priest. Finn Balor has shared his thoughts after betraying Damien Priest at the SummerSlam Premium Live event. The Prince cost the Punisher his World Heavyweight Championship last night. The Judgment Day had a massive falling out last night, starting with Dominic Mysterio costing Rhea Ripley the Women's World title match and siding with Liv Morgan. Shortly after the match, Damien Priest barged into the Judgment Day's clubhouse, where he confronted Finn Balor and held him by his collar, asking whether he knew if Dom was going to betray Ripley. This was probably the final star for the Irishman. Later on in the show, Balor came out and placed Gunther's foot on the rope to break the pin after the ring general took the South of Heaven chokeslam. The distraction allowed Gunther to deliver a powerbomb, followed by a sleeper hold, resulting in the Archer of Infamy passing out. Following the show, Finn Balor took to his official X, formerly Twitter, handle to post an interesting message. "I woke up in a good mood," he wrote. It looks like Balor and Dominic Mysterio aren't the only ones done with the group, as JD McDonough posted a video of himself ripping his Judgment Day t-shirt. This all but confirms the end of Judgment Day, leaving Ripley and Priest all alone. Bianca Belair reacts to Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan's new alliance. WWE SummerSlam 2024 was one for the ages as Rhea Ripley and Damien Priest were betrayed by their former stablemates. Meanwhile, Bianca Belair reacted to Rhea Ripley's shocking loss and Dominic Mysterio's new alliance with Liv Morgan. After months of teasing Dominic Mysterio, Liv Morgan finally got her wish as the second-generation star abandoned mommy and professed his interest in the Women's World Champion in Ohio. The turn didn't come as a surprise, as many believed Mysterio had been in cahoots with Morgan since May 2024. Today, Bianca Belair reacted to Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan's antics in the opening match of SummerSlam. The star was once Rhea Ripley's fierce rival, and she too was shocked and almost speechless at what transpired between Morgan and Mysterio. "Whoa, Liv and Rhea and Dom," Belair wrote. "A Raw superstar is money despite losing." Triple H was full of praise for several superstars at SummerSlam, as he should have been because the show itself was incredible. He named a 40-year-old star and said he's money despite losing his title. At the post-SummerSlam 2024 press conference, a reporter brought up Braun Breaker breaking character and thanking the 40-year-old Sami Zayn for the opportunity given to him so he could become Intercontinental Champion. Triple H was full of praise for Sami Zayn, calling him money and praising him for being the guy who always shows up and does his job. Sami is just one of those, he is money. He is constant. He's just always there. Triple H even put Bayley in the same category as Sami Zayn, as he believes she's one of the more underappreciated talents on the roster. It's certainly true that the role model and Sami Zayn are workhorses for their respective divisions. Sami turned out to be an incredible champion, and Braun Breaker seemed to be the right man to take the title from him. Although Sami may have lost his title, he certainly is money for WWE. It will be interesting to see what lies next for Sami Zayn. One thing is for sure, he's going to be active on WWE television. Many will hope that he steps up to pursue the World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns is set to suffer a major betrayal from his closest ally. Last night at SummerSlam, Roman Reigns returned to WWE after nearly 4 months of absence. While he went after Solo Sikoa, who turned on him in his absence, wrestling veteran Matt Morgan predicted the original Tribal Chief would suffer another betrayal from his closest ally. While Reigns went on hiatus following his loss to Cody Rhodes, Sikoa appointed himself the new Tribal Chief, taking control of the Bloodline. After eliminating Jimmy Uso and Paul Heyman, and adding Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu to the faction, Sikoa claimed that the former undisputed WWE champion would have to acknowledge him upon his return. Meanwhile, he continued to insult the 39-year-old. Last night, Reigns returned during Sikoa's Bloodline Rules match against Cody Rhodes and took out his cousin, allowing the American Nightmare to pick up the victory. While discussing Reigns' return on the Gigantic Pop podcast, wrestling veteran Matt Morgan addressed the anticipated comeback of the Wiseman Paul Heyman. He predicted that the Hall of Famer would betray his tribal chief and side with Sikoa upon his comeback despite getting destroyed by the latter's group. I still think this is way in the distance, hopefully. I do think Heyman comes back, and I do think he sides with Solo in them. Listen to me, I know they just pulverized him recently. I get that. That's why it's gonna take some time to get there. But he can't be a babyface manager. Doesn't work. Think about it. What a big betrayal to Roman. Roman Reigns' major change upon his return. During the main event of WWE SummerSlam, Roman Reigns made his highly awaited return. Reigns returned with a new t-shirt, reading OTC. Reigns hit Solo Sikoa with a Superman punch and spear, helping Cody Rhodes retain the undisputed WWE Championship. Post-match, Reigns and Rhodes had a brief stare-down. Reigns' new t-shirt read OTC, which stands for Original Tribal Chief. In the former undisputed WWE Universal Champion's absence, Sikoa declared himself the new Tribal Chief. He also recruited new members to the Bloodline, adding Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa to the group. The new Bloodline also took out Paul Heyman, who refused to acknowledge Sikoa as his Tribal Chief. At WrestleMania XL, Roman Reigns lost the undisputed WWE Universal Championship to Cody Rhodes in a Bloodline rules match. During the contest, The Rock, Jimmy Uso, Sikoa, and other superstars interfered on behalf of Reigns. Now that Reigns has returned to WWE, expect him to feud with Sikoa and the new Bloodline. The head of the table could also reunite the original Bloodline, including former honorary member Sami Zayn. On Monday Night Raw, Zayn recently teamed up with Jey Uso, who is also a former member of the Bloodline. In 2023, Jey quit the faction before switching to Monday Night Raw. The biggest feud set for SmackDown after SummerSlam. SummerSlam 2024 is officially in the history books, and it drew a curtain on several top feuds from WWE SmackDown. However, the recently concluded Premium Live event also paved the way for the beginning of several new exciting rivalries. From returning superstars to newly crowned champions, Triple H may have a few surprises in store for the biggest names on the blue brand later this week. Here, we look at 3 blockbuster feuds that can start on WWE SmackDown after SummerSlam. So, without further ado, let's begin. Number 1. Roman Reigns fights against the Bloodline on WWE SmackDown. Roman Reigns made a huge return at SummerSlam to cost Solo Sikoa his title shot against Cody Rhodes. This marked his first appearance on WWE television since losing the undisputed title to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania XL. The original Tribal Chief returned to wage war against the Solo Sikoa-run Bloodline, which will likely be the biggest rivalry of the blue brand in the coming weeks. Sikoa repeatedly claimed that Roman Reigns would have to acknowledge him as the Tribal Chief when he returned. However, it is obvious that Reigns has returned to reclaim his spot at the head of the table. It will now be interesting to see how Roman Reigns faces off against an entire faction in what seems to be leading to a massive civil war within the Bloodline. Number 2. Cody Rhodes betrayed on WWE SmackDown. Randy Orton was one of the superstars who helped Cody Rhodes in the Bloodline rules match at SummerSlam. The Viper and Kevin Owens have had issues with the Bloodline and proved to be trusted allies for the American Nightmare against the heel faction. However, Orton was notably caught eyeing Cody Rhodes' title on more than one occasion. It is worth remembering that Randy Orton's shoulders weren't entirely pinned in the King of the Ring finals. Technically, he could have challenged Cody Rhodes for the title. If the Legend Killer doesn't directly blame Cody, we may see Orton ultimately turn on his long-term friend and set up their feud on SmackDown. This angle would help both Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, giving them a much-needed break from the Bloodline. Number 3. LA Knight meets his first challenger on SmackDown. LA Knight challenged Logan Paul for the United States Championship in an intense match at SummerSlam. The two were involved in an entertaining rivalry on SmackDown that ended with the fastest-rising megastar winning his first singles title in WWE. As impressive as Paul was in his matches, he had barely defended the title, and fans desperately wanted it to change. Knight's victory suggests that the United States Championship will be regularly defended on SmackDown, and he could meet his first challenger on the Blue brand's first show after SummerSlam. LA Knight was involved in several backstage and forths with former NXT champion Carmelo Hayes, with the two stars feuding since they locked horns in the King of the Ring tournament. Hayes could use their history to challenge Knight for the title, leading to an engaging championship feud between the two stars.